What's going on, guys? Welcome back to an episode of 2-Minute Gun Guide. In this episode, we're going to be covering the DMR-14 and going into the best class setup for this weapon in just under 2 minutes. So hopefully, guys, you stick around and enjoy the videos. If you do, be sure to leave a like and let me know in the comments if you're enjoying these quick to the point class setups, and I'll make sure to do more of them. The DMR-14 is a semi-automatic tac rifle that you can literally shoot as fast as your trigger finger can go. So if you have an extremely fast trigger finger, this thing is going to perform very, very closely to an automatic assault rifle. Whereas if it's not as fast, you can kind of get a couple of taps on them from longer range, or it's quite good from short range, and it can act as things like an SMG, or it can act as just a general decent weapon in all areas. So it's an absolutely amazing weapon, and obviously in Warzone, it is categorized as being broken in Warzone. So as I said, take it with a grain of salt, see how you find it in Cold War, but for me, it's probably one of the best guns in the game. But going into the class setup, this is on screen what I was typically using, so if you want to go and copy that and replicate it, be sure to go ahead and do that. But into the setup itself, so I use loads of different attachments on this weapon, and I'm going to go through today with a couple which will be your absolute best and go-to. So to start with, the optic, I typically run the Axle 3x scope, or the Hawksmoor is also very, very good. So these are the two main ones I would go with. However, recently I have been using this thing without any optic on at all and just running the iron sight, and it's been working quite well for me. So it said those are the three the things with an optic I would recommend to you guys. I'm not really a fan of the mill stop on this weapon. I don't know why, but those are the three that I typically go for, and they work really well for me. Going on to the muzzle though, the agency suppressor or the suppressor, obviously with this gun, it is going to be loud. It's going to fire very quickly, so having a suppressor on is key for me. But if you don't like that and you just want to basically just go around, be a bit louder, but have that additional bullet velocity and damage range, then a muzzle brake is the best thing to go for on that. Going to a barrel, this is a very important thing to have on, and that is the fire rate of the weapon needs to be increased, because as I said, you have a single fire weapon, you want to make sure you can get as many bullets out as quickly as possible with your trigger finger, so the fire rate increase will allow you to do that. So the 16.3-inch titanium barrel will give you a 21% increase in fire rate, but if you didn't have this, the 17.1 also gives you a fire rate increase along with damage. It's entirely up to you which one you find better, but for me, the 16.3-inch titanium has just always worked well for me, because again, the damage doesn't really matter if the bullets are taking longer to leave the weapon. So if the bullets fire out as quickly as possible, so you can get the kill a lot faster. I don't bother with a body or an underbarrel on this gun, but straight to the magazine. Obviously, I use the Salvo 35 round speed mag. Again, doesn't really matter too much what you use on this, but again, I like to reload as quickly as possible and have as many bullets in my mag as possible. That's why I go with this. If not, though, the 30 round speed mag will work just as well. Again, skipping over the handle and going to the stock, I run a no stock, so you can get your sprint to fire time increase as well. So if you're sprinting around the map, you can bring your sights up very quickly and you can kill an enemy. And personally, that's the best thing for me. And hip fire accuracy doesn't really matter. It's a tac rifle. If you're hip firing with a tac rifle, you're doing it all wrong. So that is the main thing that I would recommend and go for on this setup. Again, there are things you can change around on this class, so be sure to go and try them out. Try loads of different variations, but for me, this is what works best for me. If you wanted to go with an underbarrel because you think that there's a bit too much recoil on the weapon, take the stock off and then put on rather the Field Agent foregrip or the front grip. They're absolutely my two go-tos if I was to use one, but for me, really, the gun is it's a semi-automatic gun. It doesn't really need a grip. Guys, that's the setup for the DMR-14. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope you guys go ahead and use it and it does well for you as well. As I mentioned, these videos are aimed to be fast, to the point, so you guys can jump back into Warzone or Cold War quicker and just get that class set up and go and slay with the class setup I've given you. So guys, let me know in the comments if these videos are helping you out. If not, then of course I can go back to what I was doing previously. That's absolutely fine. But guys, without further ado, we'll see you in the next one.